Søren Kierkegaard, a Danish philosopher from the 19th century. He attended the University of Copenhagen, where he focused on Christian ideas. Many people call him a poet-philosopher. He often used irony in his writing. He would sometimes say things that seemed opposite to what you might expect, which helped make his ideas more interesting and thought-provoking. He was notably engaged to Regine Olsen, but broke off the engagement later. He believed his philosophical calling wouldn't allow him to be happy with her. This decision deeply impacted him, causing both love and suffering, which influenced his writings on topics like love, despair, and faith. Kierkegaard considered life as a journey that ultimately brings us closer to God. He described 3 stages of life: the aesthetic stage, where people focus on immediate pleasure and personal enjoyment; the ethical stage, where people begin to value rules, responsibilities, and doing what is right; the religious stage, where a person takes a leap of faith, developing a deep, personal relationship with God. In Either Or, Kierkegaard contrasts 2 ways of life: the aesthetic and ethical. The aesthetic life focused on pleasure can lead to regret from missed commitments, while the ethical life focused on responsibility can cause regret from sacrificing freedom. He explains that every choice in life comes with its own challenges and sacrifices. When we face many options, we worry about making the wrong choice, and that uncertainty creates anxiety. He believed that freedom to choose brings these feelings, as choosing means we have responsibility, and there's always the possibility that we'll make a mistake. However, he also thought that this anxiety helps you understand yourself better and encourages you to grow. Kierkegaard's idea of angst is a feeling of deep anxiety or dread, especially focused on big life questions. It's not just about being scared of something specific. This anxiety shows that you're alive and aware, pushing you to find your own meaning and live authentically. This deep existential anxiety isn't meant to paralyze us. Instead, it invites us to take what Kierkegaard famously calls a leap of faith, a bold, trusting step into the unknown that transforms our angst into a drive for authentic living. He uses the story of Abraham's attempted sacrifice of Isaac to illustrate this concept. Abraham's trust in God leads him to act in ways that go against ordinary ethical reasoning. Kierkegaard shows how true faith can be paradoxical, involving personal commitment that might defy logic. The story highlights the tension between ethics and religion, demonstrating that faith sometimes requires taking risks and embracing uncertainty. According to Kierkegaard, facts or universal truths don't reach the deep, personal struggles that individuals face. Instead, he felt that each person must find their own meaning and truth through personal experience and faith. Faith comes from a deep inner passion and commitment, even when the outside world offers no clear or definite proof. In other words, faith is about trusting and believing despite uncertainty. He said, "Without risk, no faith." Faith is precisely the contradiction between the infinite passion of inwardness and objective uncertainty. Humans are finite, meaning limited and temporary, while God is infinite, transcendent, and eternal. This creates a fundamental contradiction between the two. The relationship requires a leap of faith because humans can't fully grasp or bridge this gap of infinity. Modern society, with its endless options and relentless pace, seems designed to amplify our anxieties. We are bombarded with information and expectations, often leading to decision fatigue and the dread of missing out. In such an environment, the message of Kierkegaard is particularly relevant. His philosophy reminds us that it is not the absence of anxiety that leads to a fulfilling life, but rather our response to it. By facing our fears and acknowledging the finite nature of our existence, we can move beyond superficial comforts and live more deeply. Kierkegaard's ideas also challenge the notion that life should be governed solely by rational thought and scientific objectivity. While reason is an important tool, it cannot fully capture the essence of our inner lives. The subjective experiences of joy, sorrow, and doubt are what give life its richness and complexity. According to Kierkegaard, when we allow ourselves to feel the full spectrum of our emotions, including anxiety, we are better equipped to understand our true selves. This deeper self-awareness is what ultimately leads to a more genuine connection with the world around us. The transformation from anxiety to authenticity is not an easy journey, It demands that we confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves, our limitations, and the inevitability of death. Yet, Kierkegaard sees this confrontation as liberating. By accepting that our lives are finite, we free ourselves from the illusion of permanence. This acceptance compels us to make the most of every moment, to live deliberately, and to pursue our passions without fear. In this way, anxiety is transformed from a crippling burden into a powerful motivator for change. In practical terms, Kierkegaard's philosophy encourages us to take deliberate steps toward a more meaningful life. It suggests that rather than seeking certainty in external validation or rigid routines, we should look inward and trust our instincts. This might mean taking risks in our careers, relationships, or creative endeavors, actions that require us to step out of our comfort zones. Each leap, no matter how small, brings us closer to realizing our full potential. Thanks for watching.